Hello creative people, Hollis with I Am Creative, and I am really excited to be showing you this technique today. So this is a form of printmaking, and there are all different kinds of printmaking. Printmaking is basically when you have, it's a transfer of an image or colors onto paper, and you can get multiple images of it. So it's called pulling a print, where you can have the same kind of image and put new pieces of paper down and pick up the papers and get multiple images in different colors, and you switch it up. So that's kind of a simplistic way, if that makes sense, of printmaking. So I want to show you how to use these Gelli prints. This is what we're going to be using in the parent-child class, which starts next week. And also we're going to be doing it on one of the days with the adult class, the art, yoga, and meditation. So this is called a Gelli plate. It is like this kind of like, what is it, gelatin kind of thing. It's squishy. And this is what we're going to be putting. These are our materials. So we have the Gelli plate. We have acrylics. These acrylics that you can get at any like AC Moore, Michael's, Walmart, Target, wherever. And we're going to be using that. We're going to be using a brayer, oops, which is a roller that should not be dripping water, but I just dry it right off. This is going to be able to roll our paint. And then we have some other kind of things for texture. This is another kind of roller with lines on it. And then we have this kind of doodad here. And then we have these kind of brushes here that have the little slits in them. And I also went outside and I picked out from nature. I got some sticks and I got some leaves. So I want to show you how we're going to do this. The key to this is really about layering. So it's all about, you can't mess up, because I was doing this. I'm going to show you. So this is an example of, and I'm going to do a close-up, and it was just layering. I think I layered it up. I put the paper back on top of the plate about 5 different times, just to kind of experiment with color mixing, making marks, putting the paper on top, pulling it, and then starting again, which I'm going to show you the process. So that's the one, and this is the other. So it can get kind of abstracted. So sometimes you have to look a little bit closely at what it's going to be or how it turns out. But that's kind of the beauty of it, is that you have to keep looking at it. So I'm going to start with a lighter color first, and I'm just using a little bit. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to kind of like put it like that. Okay, so I'm going to take the brayer and I'm going to roll it. And you don't need a lot. It's kind of like the less the better, actually. So I'm going to put the brayer down, and I'm actually going to take some bubble wrap. And the bubble wrap for the texture, I'm just going to kind of like lay it and kind of like stamp it. And the cool thing about this is you don't necessarily see it until you put the paper on top. So we have that. We get a new piece of paper here. I lay it on top. I give it a rub. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Rub it around. So we're going to be doing this with as young as 3 years old. 3 to 5 for adults. With adults, it's a parent-child. So this is what I mean by pulling a print. You take the paper and you pull it. And I'm holding the print. Here we go. And low battery. Okay, I'll do this quickly. So this is the first one, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this up here. So you can see a little bit of the bubbles going on there from where you pressed with the bubble wrap. Now I'm going to go with, put this to the side, and I'm going to use a darker color. So I'm going to put a little bit of orange on here. Oops, that was a lot of orange. Let's see how that works. So I'm going to take a different brayer, and I'm going to roll it. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Covering the whole thing. And if you make a mistake, I like to call it beautiful oops. You just try again, but you can't make a mistake with this. So I'm going to try, and I'm going to take a leaf, and I'm going to press it down onto the plate. And then I'm going to get a brayer, and I'm going to roll it on top. And what it does is it flattens it. Oop, it flattens it out. and it presses the image or the texture onto the surface. So then I pick up the leaf, and for time's sake, I'm just gonna kind of take the stick now, and I'm gonna draw some lines. I'll get some wiggly lines going on in here, and maybe some dots. I'm not pressing really hard. I don't want to pierce through the surface, although this is pretty thick. I'm putting this to the side, and then I'm going to take the same piece of paper and I'm going to layer it on top. Doesn't have to be exact. And then I rub it, rub it. And then I'm pulling a print, take it from the edge and pull it up. Let's see if you can see very much. Right now, it's really just about the color mixing. So I'm gonna put it here. So I'm just kind of getting like a texturized surface, like almost like an aged, worn surface. I can't really see the leaf on that. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of white. This is gonna be the last print I'm gonna do for this. Last time I'm gonna pull a print for this one. So here, and a little bit of white and a little bit of this pinkish purple, really dark. And I take the brayer and mix it and spread it over the whole plate. And the thing about these is that they're very spontaneous. So they may not turn out exactly the way you were thinking, but